Hello, here we are, Molly Friedrich in Austin, and I am back again with one of my favorite colleagues. This is Farrah, and she covers the College Station market. So today we're somewhere in Texas, not just somewhere in the US. Hey, Farrah, how are you? And what's happened for you today?
Hi, I am doing great. I am here in College Station, Texas. I'm home of Texas A&M University, and I know I'm talking to some people from Austin, but my parents went to UT, so I've still got some orange blood in me, so it's all right. It's all good.
It's good. Hey, we got to be friendly, right?
That's right.
We got to represent Texas. We made so there's certain days and games of the year that maybe we're on the other sides of the fence, but it's still really great towns, great universities for sure.
Pets come
Um,
first.
yeah. So tell me, if someone is thinking about moving to College Station or your area, what are prices doing right now? What are you seeing?
Yeah. So our market, we always joke and call it the Bryan College Station bubble, because we have never really had the really high swing ups and the low swing downs. We just are like the little engine that could. We have only in the past 20 years had two decreasing markets, and each of those was 1%. So I don't know if you'd even really consider that a decreasing market. If you went up 3% the year before and you went down 1%, you're still up from where you were 2 or 3 years before. So we're very lucky about that. Our prices are staying very stable in our market. We haven't seen a huge increase from 25 to 26 so far in the prices, but what we are seeing is a lot of movement in activity. We've got a lot more houses coming on the market, but we also have a lot more buyers that are moving forward with transactions as well. I've been crazy busy already, just the first 6 8 weeks of the year. It's been wild.
Yeah, and great point. In case someone's watching this later, we are filming at the end of February, February 23rd in 2026. So is that kind of unusual to be this busy this early in the year?
Yeah, it really is. Usually, everything starts kind of churning, usually more in March.
Yeah.
And because so many people, want to be moving, during the end of the school year or in the beginning of the summer. And so it's been crazy to see how busy it's been. I had a week before last, I had 8 listing appointments in 1 week.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So your market's going. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
doing
Now
well.
tell me what's something that surprises people about your market or that they're not used to.
I think really the thing that surprises people is our price points and like what you can get for the money. I do a lot of tours for May's Business School for professors that are potentially going to be coming to Texas A&M. So I drive them around and tell them about the market, and they're shocked when I tell them what they can get for the money. And they'll say something like they'll start with their budget of $1 million. I'm like, oh, do you want like land and a pool and a 5,000 square foot house? And they're like, no, like 2,500 square feet. And I'm like, no, no, I can get you that for, like 400 to 500,000. And they're
Oh,
just
yeah.
blown away. So
Yeah.
I think that really surprises people, that you can get what you can get for your money here.
Well, that's a pleasant surprise probably for most buyers when they're moving to the area. That's great. And what do people underestimate about living there?
I think one of the things that people underestimate is number one, how friendly everyone is. It's a great community. And then how quickly you can get from one end of town to the other. That's another thing people don't understand is that, literally it takes me 15 minutes and I live in Southern College Station, which is more towards the Houston direction. I can get anywhere in 15 minutes. Downtown Bryan, the middle of campus, to Texas A&M. I can even get to Navasota, which is just outside of us, in 15, 20 minutes. And so everything is really fast here except on game days. And then,
Oh, sure.
yeah, game
You
days,
can't get anywhere.
yeah, it's crazy. So on game days, we become the fifth largest quote, quote, downtown in Texas. And College
Wow.
Station is not a big town, as and so it's just like crazy how many. But I mean, our stadium holds 110,000 people, and
Sure.
then about as many are tailgating. So we hunker down on
Yeah.
game day unless you're going to the game. And so, but other than that, as soon as the game gets started, that's when to go shopping and go out to restaurants and stuff because
Got it. Got it.
everybody's
So
the
you
game.
probably don't do a lot of showing of property, before or after the game. Yeah, because you're not getting anywhere.
No, and people don't want to. I mean, everybody's pretty, we're
Yeah.
pretty addicted to our school. We love our school.
You're focused. You're focused on
That's
what you
right.
should be watching and doing. I love it.
That's
I love
right.
it. Now, if someone is going to be moving there, what should they know before they come? I mean, you've helped us a little bit on pricing, and we now know about game day. Any other tips or tricks or things they should know?
Um, Not really. I think really for people, what they just need to think about is kind of what area they want to be in. I'm shocked at how many people at first, when they first come here, say, I want to be really close to campus because I want to be close to everything. Because a lot of people are coming from a bigger city. And so they
Sure.
think about that downtown experience and being able to be around everything. And nine times out of 10, once I start taking them on tours, is that they start realizing that they kind of want to be out a little bit more, because even when you're out, for us, out is 8 miles. And so for
Right.
you, if I was to say 8 miles, you're thinking an hour because
Yeah.
of traffic,
Yeah.
and
And
for
you're talking
us,
about 15 or 20 minutes, right?
15
That's a
minutes.
whole different
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
We have, like, we call it rush 15 instead of rush hour, because it literally,
Oh,
for 15 minutes a day, maybe 20, it'll slow you down a little bit. And so instead of taking 15 minutes to get somewhere, it may take you 20. So, woo.
I, I got to tell you, one of the things I'm learning on having these conversations is there's terminology I've never heard, and Rush 15. That's the one from this one. I've never heard of that before. I love it. I hope to someday live in a town that has Rush 15 instead of Rush
Right.
Hour. That's
Yeah,
great.
it's really nice. And what's also really nice about our specific area is we are dead center in the middle of what's called the Texas Triangle. So the Texas Triangle connects Austin, Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. So it's literally just that perfect triangle
Yeah.
of Texas where all the big cities are and all the happenings. Well, we're right in the middle of it. So we're just a little under 2 hours from you there in Austin. In fact, depending on the area of Austin, it's like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Houston, hour and 10 minutes to some of the parts of it, and then, hour and a half to others. 3 hours to San Antonio, 3 hours to Dallas. So it's easy to be able to get to all the
Yeah.
places. And we actually have a lot of people, surprisingly, that commute to Austin and Houston from
Wow.
this area. Yeah, because our
Wow.
schools, we have really, really good schools. Our school rankings are phenomenal. And so a lot of times people say, I want to have more of that small town feel, but still be able to keep, my job. And a lot of people do commute, because in the city you might commute for an hour. If you live here,
Sure.
you might be commuting for an hour, hour and 20 minutes, but yet you're
Yeah.
going nonstop. You're just driving. You're not
You're
stopping going.
driving.
So
Yeah,
it really
absolutely.
doesn't waste as much time as you
Yeah,
think.
and you get that advantage of some pretty more land, bigger houses for maybe a
Mhm.
better price point. So
Yeah,
that's really worth looking at. I love it.
for
Now,
sure.
how long have you been serving in real estate in College Station? And tell me what you love about helping people.
Absolutely. So I've been a realtor here. This summer will be 18 years.
Wow.
So it's been absolutely just wonderful. And I think the thing that I love the most about it is figuring out how to make it work for people and making dreams come true. I've had sweet clients that are from other countries that never thought they would be able to have the American dream, and we have figured out how to do that. I
Mhm.
One of my best qualities, I feel like, is that I don't give up easily on things, and I don't ever stop. I'm relentless. And so when somebody says, I don't think I'll ever be able to be a homeowner, I say, oh, yeah, you will. We've just got to figure out how. And so I
Yeah.
work with my lenders. I've had people that we've gotten into credit repair before. We've done all kinds of things like that to be able to, because I always tell people the answer isn't no, you can't buy a house. Maybe it's just not today, but let's
Right.
work on the process to get you there so that you can. And a lot of
Moving
times,
forward. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of times people will just go, oh, well, you can't afford, a house, or you can't get qualified today. And so the people just give up that dream. And I just feel like that everyone can have the American dream. We just have to be able to work together, and you need somebody like myself that's relentless and that's a really good negotiator, and I really research well. And so that also helps. I had some clients the other day that they didn't think they could get this particular house because of the price range it was in, and I sat down and really did deep market research, and I said, this agent doesn't understand that they have the house way overpriced. They think they have it priced well because they just ran the comps for the whole subdivision, but they
Mm,
didn't do that specific size home. And so they were just a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and they had run the whole subdivision, which included 4 bedroom, 2 baths, 4 bedroom, 3 baths. And
hmm.
that's not the same. And so I was able to sit down with that other agent and explain to them the market in a loving way, where I wasn't being condescending or whatever, and show them. And she was actually very impressed and was like, oh, wow. And it was very hard for her and her seller to combat what I had to say, because it was correct and it was very detailed. And so we were able to actually get a house that was $20,000 more listed higher than what my clients got it for. And my clients, and it was a price point to where $20,000, is a big jump. Not like a
Yeah.
house that's $1 million and you came down
Yeah.
22,
Yeah.
and so this was a
Yeah.
house in the 300s. So that's a huge
Wow.
percentage
That is a
decrease.
huge percentage.
And so I think just spending that time really researching and not just, going, oh, I'll just run some comps and say this subdivision, also
Right.
helps my clients get there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That
yeah,
that sounds like that's probably part of your unique skill set that you bring to the table for your clients, and that's so important, to be
yeah.
able to do that research and then go to bat for your clients. So I'm
Absolutely.
so glad that you
Yeah,
brought that up.
yeah.
Speaking of clients, tell me who's kind of your favorite client, the type of client that you serve best, or that you particularly tend to serve more often than others.
That's really hard because it's like you asking me to pick between my children, right? I love
Children,
them
yeah.
each. I love them each very much for certain reasons. One of them is my favorite in one way, and one's my favorite in the other.
Yeah.
So I have to choose two because every parent can't, choose between their kids. So the two would be people that are kind of in my stage of life. So, and I've done that throughout my career. So when I started, I had a 10-month-old and I had one going into kindergarten. And so I kind of built my business on that. And
Sure.
so with that, we've all kind of grown together, all my clients and I. And so
Mhm.
now we're all reaching the empty nester stage.
Yep.
So I think I do really well with people kind of in my same because I understand what they're going through. And I also do really well with people with families because I'm like a big kid at heart. And so if I'm helping people either list their house or buy a house, a lot of times me and the kids will have fun. I mean, we get out there
Yeah.
and we run races in the yard and stuff like that so that they can really focus on looking at the house,
Sure.
or they can, if
Yeah.
they're trying to get ready for the photographer, I'll go out in the backyard and play with the kids while the photographer and my clients kind of get everything squared away. So, families definitely I do really well with. And the other that I absolutely love is first time home buyers.
Yeah.
I just love it because everything is new to them. They really want to learn. They don't think they know it all. They know they don't. And so I love to teach. I
Mhm.
have a lot of teaching blood in my family. I come from a long line of teachers. And so I love to teach. And the people that want to learn the most usually are people that are just starting in the process. And
Sure.
so I love to be able to just explain to them how it's all going to work and show them that they can definitely, be homeowners and just walk
Yeah.
them through that process. And it's just so neat to see them, walk into that house the first time and it truly be their house. It's just an amazing feeling.
Oh, that's great. I love it. I love it. Well, we've talked a lot about real estate. Is there anything that we haven't covered in the real estate arena, and or what we need to know about you, like what you just like to do for fun when you're not maybe in the real estate mode?
Yeah. Well, I think just for people, the most important thing is having someone that, knows what they're doing and is experienced and can also that you can trust and that will tell you the hard things. Because sometimes as a seller, a lot of people last year asked why last year was my best year ever, which was a year that many realtors were down a lot. Almost 70% of realtors didn't sell a single house.
Yeah.
And I think that being able to have that trust and relationship with my clients that if I tell them, look, we've got to reduce our price to get this house sold, they trust me because they know
Hmm.
that I've done the work, they know that I've done the research. And so they are like, okay, if you say we need to lower the price to be able to get this house sold, we will. And so I just think that, having someone that knows what they're doing, has the experience, has the training. You and I are both coached, by the same phenomenal coach, Bryan Buffini.
Yeah.
And so we know how to take care of our clients and just the honesty and stuff. I think that that's the most important thing for people to know. And someone, especially if you're selling your house, marketing is really my background.
Mm.
I was
Yeah.
in television advertising when I first got out of college and on the advertising side. And so I'm very big on marketing. I do all kinds
Yeah.
of videos and I do some cool drone stuff and I do some really funny things where I've literally done some funny AI stuff that people couldn't tell whether that was real or not. One time I was jumping out of an airplane and people were like, I cannot believe you did that. And I was like, well, kind of didn't. But,
Kind of, sorta. My my
yeah. So
my
it's just,
AI,
yeah,
clone did.
AI me. Yeah, so I just think that's the key right now in a market that is definitely not like it was in 2020, 21, and 22,
Yeah.
that you
Mhm.
have to have someone that will think outside of the box, that's constantly being trained, constantly innovating, and that's really what I specialize in. And then as far as what I like to do in fun, well, first, I actually love this job. And so you will find me, it's very strange, but in the evenings, except for Friday nights, and I'll go to that here in just a minute. But in the evenings, I don't watch TV. I don't scroll online. Literally sit there and think about ways to market for my
Mhm.
listings
Mhm.
or strategies for my buyers and stuff like that. So really my number one hobby is really my job. I know that
Love
sounds
it.
weird,
Yeah.
but I love it. But the other thing I absolutely love to do is to travel. That is
Yes.
my passion. I love to travel, especially with my kids. My daughter and I have a goal to reach all 50 states, and we are halfway there.
Good
Um,
job.
yeah, I also love karaoke. And so I go every Friday night with me and my Bible study sisters, and we go and we sing songs. And what I love is that I have clients that come. I have clients that bring their kids, and I'll get up there and sing with their kids. I just don't mind making a fool of myself because life is just, you need to have fun. If you
Yeah.
can't have fun, I just feel like the more you laugh, the longer you'll live, and it's great. And I've actually gotten a few clients from being at karaoke as well.
I bet
So
you have. I bet you have. I mean, if you're having fun, why not? Right? They're like, that's
exactly,
my girl. I love it. I love
absolutely,
it.
absolutely.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Farrah, thank you so much. What a joy to be with you today. And if anyone out there is looking at the College Station market, reach out. I am happy to connect you with Farrah. And I didn't say it at the beginning, and I'm so glad Farrah happened to mention it. We do things like this because it is our goal to take you from the life you are living to the life of your dreams. And I love that Farrah talked so much about how
So true.
much she loves building dreams. So
Yeah,
I am so grateful that we have colleagues all over the country that can help if you need. And
absolutely.
until another time, have a great day. And thanks again, Farrah. Have a great one.
Thanks and gig 'em.